Hello again, everyone. I'm Dr. George Simon, and welcome to another edition of Character Matters, the program where we talk about what I consider to be the defining issue of our time, the character crisis that we have faced for several decades now and that affects every single aspect of our lives. We human beings have always had our challenges when it comes to developing good character. We're not naturally civilized or wholesome individuals. That has to be carefully bred in all of us. But character issues have never plagued us quite like they have in recent decades. For one thing, because all manner of behavior once regarded as unusual or even abhorrent has become so normalized. But every single problem we face, from our community ills to our overall social ills, to our international affairs, to our most intimate relationships, everything has been negatively impacted by the character crisis. Today, I want to talk about an important dimension of wholesome character, and that has to do with a principle that I outline and talk about extensively in my latest book, Essentials for the Journey. It's one of the 10 commandments of character that I first introduced in my book, Character Disturbance. And that has to do with reverence for truth. You've heard it said, I'm sure, that we live in a post-truth world. Everyone with an agenda has their own spin on things, their own take on things, their own way of talking about and presenting issues that may not tell the whole story. Indeed, we human beings are very adept at all manner of ways to lie. There are so many ways to lie, from leaving out important details, that is, lying by omission, like I outline in my book, In Sheep's Clothing. It's a powerful manipulative tactic, to telling half-truths, to saying things that are factually true, but still with the intent to deceive with respect to the bigger picture. There are so many ways to lie. And it's become so commonplace that we've gotten, unfortunately, used to it. But perhaps the worst lies are the lies that we tell ourselves. In traditional psychology, there's always been the thinking that some things are just too painful to face, so that unconsciously we deny them. But in fact, many things that we tell ourselves and about our behavior are simply outright lies. Perhaps there's nothing more damaging to our overall character development than the self-deceptions that we engage in. That's one of the reasons why reverence for the truth is so important. Even that term reverence has lost both its meaning and its importance. To revere the truth is to put it in its rightful place, a place of honor, a place of respect. To revere the truth is to hold it in high esteem as a value, and to do one's best to honor it. But truth itself has been relegated to the ash heap that so many traditional values have been relegated to over the past several decades. And we're paying a dear price for it. We're not only paying a dear price for it in our civic and public affairs and in our relationships, but we're paying a steep price when it comes to the development of our own character. Because when we're not honest with ourselves about our motives, our intentions, our purposes, we do ourselves great harm in life's greatest task, which is to make of ourselves the best that we can possibly be. And that's why in my books I talk about reverence for the truth as being a fundamental commandment, if you will, of character. It has to be instilled early, not just telling the truth, but honoring the truth, purposefully, faithfully seeking it, not being too quick to judge. When we're fully honest with ourselves, we can be more fully honest with others. And it becomes the foundation of trust. Perhaps, as many disciplines have noted throughout the ages, the most fundamental of human values. Individuals born into circumstances where they have difficulty trusting, and justly so, have a myriad of problems throughout their life. And it's quite sad that many of the institutions and structures and traditions that we have long held in esteem, we've lost trust in, lost faith in. And that has to do with all the deception, all the falsehood that's gone on for so long because of our lack of reverence for this fundamental value. I have more to say about this topic in several articles on the blog, which you can access free of charge at drgeorgesimon.com, and I address it in all of my books, but most especially, I devote a whole chapter to it in my latest book, Essentials for the Journey, which I hope you'll avail yourself of. I have a brief announcement to make, re-announcing actually something, and that is that Character Matters on the first and the third Wednesday of the month at noon Central Time will also be live streamed on major social media platforms, but especially here on this YouTube channel live, so that you can participate, ask questions, make comments. And beginning the third Wednesday of November, this new change will take place. I also want to let you know that until that time, I'm going to be taking a brief hiatus. So the next time we'll talk will be on the third Wednesday in November at noon Central Time. You can access the recording, of course, anytime on this channel. But if you care to, you'll be able to participate on that third Wednesday at noon Central Time. That would be 10 Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So until then, I thank you for tuning in. I'm Dr. George Simon. Take care.